Have you ever felt that ache in your chest when the person you care about most seems far away? No matter how hard you try, they're just getting farther away, and you don't know what else to do to pull them back. It's like you're standing right next to them, but their mind and heart are somewhere else. You send that text, and all you get back is a half-hearted response. Ed reply, "You've planned a special evening, but the spark isn't there. It hurts." Isn't it that deep-seated desire for them to notice you again like they used to? What if I told you that the problem isn't that you're not doing enough, but that you're doing too much? What if instead of always making the effort, they started gravitating toward you? What if you became the center of their thoughts, their attention, and their desire? Today, we will delve into the process of attracting your spouse or partner in a natural and effortless manner, without the need for games or force. If you believe this type of attraction only occurs in movies, think again, as I will share a powerful quote that resonates with today's topic. He who controls others may be powerful, but he who has mastered himself is mightier still in relationships. The goal isn't to manipulate or control the other person. It's about mastering your own energy and your own presence. When you do that, you naturally draw others toward you. This quote is a game share because it reminds us that the power to attract is not in what we do for others. It's in who we are. I understand that many of you are currently struggling to rekindle your connection with your partner. You're constantly reaching out, planning things, trying to get them to notice you, and yet it feels like you're the only one making the effort. Let me tell you something, and it might sting a little. The more you push, the more they pull away. The harder you try, the more you show up, the more you overwhelm them with your presence, and in doing so, you become less attractive in their eyes. But here's the twist. You don't need to do that stuff all the time. In fact, you should do it less frequently. What if you let them get your attention instead of trying to get it? Don't always try to win them over. Tell them what they could lose. For example, instead of sending that daily good morning text, skip it. Instead of planning the next date night, don't tell them what you're doing. When you give someone space to feel your absence, they start to value your presence more. Let them feel the difference when you're not always there, and watch how they start to turn back towards you. Now, I'm going to give you some tough love. Stop begging for their attention and acting like you have to prove your worth to them every day. Do you see what you're doing to yourself? Every time you overcompensate, every time you give more than they're giving back, you diminish your value in their eyes. Let me be clear, you are worth more than that. Consider this. When did you cease to hold the belief that you are worthy of pursuit? When did you start thinking that their love and attention are something you have to earn? This isn't the way it works. The moment you cease elevating yourself, they no longer perceive you as someone they must strive to please. So what are you doing right now? Are you texting them when they haven't called? Are you planning a trip next week when they barely have time to sit down and talk to you? Stop it. People will start to believe in your worth when you do. You've also given them too much power by letting them control your feelings, self-image, and relationship behavior. It's time to stop. If you want their attention, focus on your happiness, growth, and confidence. When you do that, you become irresistible because they see that you're not dependent on them. For validation, people are naturally drawn to those who seem fulfilled, happy, and whole on their own. It's time to become that person. When you stop chasing, when you stop giving all of yourself without expecting anything in return, they'll start to realize what they've been taking for granted. So here's the challenge I'm putting before you today. Stop trying to win their attention. Step back, focus on you, and let them feel your absence. Let them experience what it's like when you're not always there, ready to drop everything for them. And I promise you they'll start to gravitate back toward you. But this time you'll be in control when they do come back, and trust me, they will. Don't give it all away at once. Let them earn your time, your attention, your love. You are worth the effort, and it's time they remember that. So folks, let's move toward the affirmation. Take a deep breath, let your mind quiet and feel that deep energy building inside you. Now say it with conviction, brain. I will make you want something. Leave this affirmation in the comments and let it settle in your heart. You have the power to spark desire in them. Believe it, accept it, and watch how easily they move toward you. Say it again. I will definitely spark desire. Now leave this affirmation in the comments and own it. Remember that you don't need to chase them. You deserve someone who sees your value and moves toward you, not the other way around. When you reclaim your power and stand in your truth, the right person will naturally feel drawn to your energy. Hold on to your standards. Hold your attention tight and watch as your magnetic force pulls them back to you. If this video has boosted your confidence in attracting them, please show your support by liking it. Don't forget to subscribe for more relationship tips. Together, we'll keep getting stronger and more magnetic every day. Number 1. Pull the strings without moving. Now, let's delve into the first effective strategy, guiding people without exerting force. This idea is all about guiding people without force and making them naturally gravitate toward you. I understand that you may be wondering, how can I control something if I'm not doing anything? However, the most powerful life moves, especially in relationships, are the ones you don't make. In our fast-paced world, we often believe that constant action is necessary to stand out and communicate more effectively. Just so you know, true power lies in stillness. When you learn to stay calm and let others come to you, you completely change the dynamic. The moment you relinquish your efforts, they begin to ponder about you, as silence carries more weight than words. By keeping quiet, you allow them to miss you, wonder what's on your mind. For example, let's say you're in a relationship or trying to get someone's attention. They annoy you by not responding to your message quickly or seeming distant. Your first instinct is to react. You might want to argue with them, send a follow-up message, or even pull away completely out of frustration. But here's the trick. If you want to control what happens, don't do anything. As soon as you start to respond emotionally, you give up control and become predictable. Instead, keep your cool and be patient. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind. Not outside events realize this, and you will find strength." This means that no matter what happens around you, it's how you choose to respond, or not respond, that gives you the upper hand. When you stay calm, they will start to wonder what's going on in your mind. You become a mystery. They want to solve when you stop reacting. Something fascinating happens. You shift the dynamic in your favor without lifting a finger. Suddenly, the person who seemed to be slipping away is curious. They wonder why you're not chasing anymore. In their mind, they start to question, did I miss something? Why aren't they reacting the way they usually do? This subtle shift in dynamics is where the magic happens. You've subtly manipulated the situation without exerting any effort, and now they're drawn towards you, seeking to understand the transformation. It's as if you've transformed into a calming presence amidst chaos, and people naturally gravitate towards such stability. Now let's inject some humor into the situation. Consider the movie characters who exude coolness, composure, and attraction. Have you ever seen that same character run around in a panic, blowing up someone's phone, or having an emotional tantrum? Nope. They have that cool, calm, collected energy that draws everyone to them. Now here is a joke. Do not be the individual who destroys their phone if someone does not respond to your meme at 2 a.m. Stay calm, friends. It's your quiet confidence that makes you attractive. Using this technique may seem easy, but it does take practice. Start small the next time you want to react without thinking. Take a deep breath and give it a moment. Don't be so quick to react, especially when your emotions are high. Remember that silence and patience are powerful tools. These are your best friends. Also, this method works for friendships, work relationships, and even family situations. It's not just for romantic partnerships. Music. Keeping your cool and controlling your emotions will naturally attract people who see you as stable and not easily stressed. Trust me, that's very attractive. I understand what some of you might be thinking. It can be challenging to remain inactive. Indeed, it can be challenging, particularly for those who prefer direct solutions. But that's where the Stoic mindset comes in. Seneca said that sometimes just living is an act of courage. In this case, the courage lies in trusting the process. It's about believing that by stepping back and not reacting right away, things will work out for the best. You might feel uncomfortable at first, but that's a sign that you're growing and stepping into a new kind of power. Let's reiterate our previous discussion. By exerting control without moving, you transform the perception of others. You become the calm, steady force that people want to be around because you've stopped chasing and started mastering yourself. You're no longer trying to control outside situations or people's reactions. Instead, you're controlling your own emotions, and that, my friends, is true power. Now, say this affirmation with me. I am irresistible. Yes, you are. Your calm, confident energy will draw people to you without you having to chase or force anything. Leave that statement in the comments. I am irresistible. Believe it, live it, and watch how people start to gravitate toward you like never before. Epictetus said that how you react matters more than what happens to you. Mastering your reactions enables you to manipulate invisible forces. Being still and patient makes you someone that people can't help but be drawn to. So stay strong in your power, keep your energy grounded, and watch how the world starts to come to you. Number 2, give them a taste and leave. So let's talk about the second plan. This is where the action becomes intense and powerful, as the goal of this step is to pique their interest by providing just the right amount of information without overwhelming them. The goal is to hook them in and then leave them wanting more. This technique isn't about manipulating them. It's about understanding how attraction works in people. As soon as you stop being too forgiving and start pulling away, they will start to crave your presence like never before. Have you ever experienced someone showing you a hint of affection or attention and then withdrawing? Doesn't that make you feel a little frustrated, but also more interested in what might happen next? That's the power of giving them a taste and then walking away. You create anticipation. You become the person they think about, wonder about, and even obsess over. The beauty of this move is that it taps into their natural desire for what they can't immediately have. Imagine this, you're in a budding relationship and things are going well. You've been showing them attention, texting regularly, maybe even spending a lot of time together. But here's where most people go wrong. They overdo it. They give too much too soon. They pour everything into the other person, thinking it will create a stronger bond. But in reality, it has the opposite effect. They become too available, too predictable, and suddenly the attraction fades. Instead, give them a taste. Show them what it's like to be in your presence, to experience your energy, your attention, but don't give it all away. Make sure they get just enough to feel that spark, but not enough to feel satisfied. This leaves them wanting more, and trust me, nothing is more powerful in attraction than desire that hasn't been fully met. Think of it like a delicious meal. You take that first bite, and it's so good that you're already thinking about the next one. But before you can dig in, the plate is taken away. What happens? You want that meal even more. The same concept applies here. When you give them a taste and step back, they wonder when they can get more, giving you the upper hand. Now, some of you may be wondering, Won't they lose interest if I pull away? The answer is no. They won't lose interest at all. In fact, when you leave after providing them with just enough, you create a void that people naturally seek to fill, prompting them to think about you more, as they haven't fully embraced all your offerings. The key is to find a balance. You don't want to completely disappear. You just want to take a step back and make them understand that they need to do more in order to gain more from you. Let me give you a somber quote. If something outside of you bothers you, it's not the thing itself that's hurting you, it's how you think about it, and you can change how you think about it at any time. That's Marcus Aurelius. What this means is easy. The discomfort they feel when you walk away isn't because you've hurt them. It's because they're realizing they want more of what you're offering, but they can't control it. You control the narrative here. You control how much access they have to you. And once you understand that you're the one in power, you might feel tempted to give more of yourself because you want to make sure they stay interested. But here's where you need to trust your own worth. You don't need to overgive to prove your value. You are the prize. And when you give just enough and then step back, you make them realize that your time and energy are not something they can take for granted. Think of this like setting a bar. When you show them what you're capable of and then pull back, you're setting the standard. You're showing them that they need to invest in you if they want more. And that's when people start to step up. They'll start texting first. They'll start making plans. They'll start showing up for you because you've shown them that you're not someone who's always available, but someone they need to work for. Here's a little humor for you. Think of yourself like a rare, limited edition item. People don't rush to buy something they can get any time, but the moment they think it's exclusive or scarce, they'll line up for miles just to get a piece of it. You are that rare item. You are not something everyone can easily access. So why are you acting like you're available all the time now? How do you incorporate this into your life? Start by pulling back in small ways. If you're always the one initiating contact, take a step back and let them come to you. If you've been giving too much time and energy, take a little of that time for yourself. Focus on your own goals, your own passions, and let them feel the shift in your energy. Trust me, they'll notice. And what if you find it difficult? What if you're worried that pulling back might push them away? That's when you need to remind yourself of your worth. You don't need to overgrow to keep someone interested. You are already ready enough. As the affirmation goes, I am irresistible. Say it with me now. Drop it in the comments. This isn't about games. It's about knowing your value and making sure others see it too. To wrap it up, remember this: when you give them a taste and then walk away, you create desire, you build anticipation. And when you do that, people naturally gravitate toward you. They can't help it, because you've shown them what's possible, but left them wanting more. And as Epicurus said, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. By giving just enough and pulling back, you make sure they are the ones who want more of you. So stand firm in your power. Give them a taste, then walk away and watch as they come running after you. Number 3, become the oasis in their desert. So folks, let's get into the third strategy: become the oasis in their desert. Now let me tell you something. Life can be hard, chaotic and draining. And when someone's world feels like a desert, dry, empty and overwhelming, you need to be that oasis. You need to be the refreshing, calming presence that they gravitate toward, the person they turn to when everything around them feels like it's falling apart. But here's the catch. Don't confuse being their oasis with being their doormat. You're not here to fix all their problems. No. You're here to be the one stable, refreshing and unshakable presence in their life. Think of it this way. Everyone is going through something. They might not always show it, but internally they're battling stress, doubts and insecurities. If you can be the calm in their storm, the peaceful refuge, they can't get anywhere else. They'll naturally be drawn to you. Imagine this. You're dealing with someone who's stressed out, frustrated, and feeling lost. Their life feels like a barren desert with no relief in sight. Now, most people they encounter either add to their stress or simply ignore it. But you're different. You don't feed into their chaos. Instead, you're the oasis, a breath of fresh air, a source of calm and peace. You don't bring drama, you bring clarity, and that, my friends, is incredibly attractive. They won't be able to stay away from someone who makes them feel like they can finally breathe. Here's the thing, when you become that oasis, they start to crave your presence. They'll seek you out, not because you're constantly available, but because being around you makes them feel better, makes their world feel less overwhelming. You offer something that everyone wants but rarely finds: peace of mind. People will always gravitate towards relief, particularly when life seems unfulfilling. Let me hit you with a brutal truth. Most people make other people's lives more stressful. Think about the people around you. How many of them are truly calming? How many of them make you feel at peace? Not many, right? That's why becoming the oasis is so powerful. You're not adding to the noise. You're the place where people can rest. And in a world full of stress and chaos, that's what makes you magnetic. Keep in mind that I'm not telling you to be a people pleaser. What this isn't about is being there for them whenever they need you. You're not a helper. They come to you because you give them peace and control, not because you're their crutch. You need to know that by becoming their oasis, you make yourself seem irreplaceable because you give them something they can't get anywhere else. When you stop adding to the noise and start being that calming presence, you become the person they turn to when life gets tough. And trust me, they'll come running to you when the world feels like too much. So how do you make this happen in your life? Focus on your own peace of mind first. If you're consumed by your own chaos, you won't be able to provide a calm environment for others. When you're with them, practice staying calm, patient, and collected. Don't react to everything that happens. Instead, listen and be present. Let them know that being with you can temporarily ease their worries. What if you're not naturally calm? It's acceptable if you struggle to maintain composure during intense situations. No one expects you to be perfect, but remember what the Stoics said. You control your mind, not outside events. You control how you react, how you respond, and how you show up. It's not about never feeling stressed. It's about managing it so well that others feel calmer just by being around you. You're the oasis in their desert. You're the calming presence they crave, the person they run to when life feels too heavy. And when you embody that energy, trust me, they will gravitate toward you without hesitation. If you're still here with us, it means this video is speaking to you and helping you see your own power. So why not give it a thumbs up to show your support? And if you're ready for more life-changing content like this, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. You won't want to miss what's coming up in video number 4. Allow them to pursue their curiosity. If you're always in the spotlight and giving them everything they want and need, they'll start to take you for granted. But when you take a step back and give them room to think about you, that's when the chase begins. And let me tell you, being chased is much more powerful than chasing someone. Imagine doing all the work, showing up, giving them your attention, and making time for them, but then they do nothing. It's frustrating, right? But here's what you can do. Let them chase your shadow. Stop being so predictable and stop being so available. Leave them just enough clues so they have to work to figure you out. It's like giving them a few crumbs but not the whole meal. Keep them guessing. Let me drop some wisdom on you. Epicurus said that the more we control others' perceptions and reactions, the less control we have over ourselves. After mastering yourself, you can pull back and let them chase the parts of you they can't understand, regaining power and setting the tone. I know what you're thinking. Won't they lose interest if I pull back? No, They will be more interested than ever because people are drawn to things they cannot fully understand or possess. Your shadow. You're giving them a reason to stay hooked, a reason to keep coming back for more. And the beauty of it is that you don't have to do a thing except be calm, confident, and a little bit mysterious. Here's what you need to understand. You don't need to constantly prove your worth to anyone when you step back and let them chase. You're reminding them that your time is valuable. You are valuable. They need to earn your attention, your energy, your presence. Don't just give it away for free, make them work for it. Number 5. Bait their ego and reel it all right. Let's get straight to it. It's time to bait their ego and reel it in. You want someone to gravitate toward you, then you've got to understand one simple truth. People are driven by their ego, and I don't mean just in an arrogant way. Everyone has that part of them that craves to feel important, to be seen, to be validated. You can either ignore this fact and hope for the best, or you can use it to your advantage and make them chase you. Here's the deal when you play on someone's ego. You tap into their desire to feel special, to feel like they're winning your attention. And trust me, that's where the magic happens. People want to feel like they're earning something exclusive, and nothing makes them want you more than the subtle feeling that they need to work for your approval. Imagine this. You're talking to someone who thinks they've got you all figured out. Maybe they think you're head over. Heels for them, they're comfortable, relaxed, and not making any real effort, because they believe you'll always be there. Now here's where you flip the script. Instead of overpraising them or giving them too much attention, you drop a subtle challenge, compliment them, but not too much. Acknowledge their strengths, but also make them realize that they're not the only one who has your attention. You say something like, "What an impressive person you are." You might be accustomed to hearing such comments, but believe me, you've inadvertently boosted their self-esteem and heightened their desire to demonstrate their worth. You hinted that you think they're not the only impressive one, so they're wondering how to stand out. And just like that, they're hooked. The harsh reality is that individuals do not pursue things that are effortless. If they think they've won you over completely, they stop putting in the effort. However, when you give them a hint of doubt, when they believe they're on the verge of success, that's when they begin to exert more effort. When you arouse their ego, they want to feel like they've earned your admiration and will go above and beyond to maintain your attention. Stop acting like you have to persuade them to like you. You don't have to over-explain yourself or praise them all the time. Instead, make them want to win you over, not the other way around. You're here to remind them that your time matters, not to boost their ego. If you troll their ego just right, they'll come to you looking for more approval, validation, and time. It's a psychological thing. People are drawn to the thrill of earning something. Give them a taste, then pull back just enough to make them want to prove themselves. High your standards even higher, and watch how they start coming to you, eager to reel in your attention. Number 6. Hold the mirror to their insecurities. Let me ask you something. Do you know what makes people tick? It's not always what they love or what they're drawn to. It's what they fear. And guess what? Everyone has insecurities. We all have those doubts that we try to hide from the world, hoping no one sees them. But here's the thing. If you can hold up a mirror to their insecurities without judgment, you instantly gain power. You become the person who understands them on a deeper level, the one who sees through the mask. That's when they start gravitating toward you because you make them feel exposed, yet understood. Here's the trick. You don't need to attack or criticize them. You're not here to make anyone feel worse about themselves, but when you subtly reflect their fears and vulnerabilities back to them, they'll realize that you see them for who they really are, not just the polished version they try to present to the world. And let me tell you something that's powerful, because while most people run away from what makes them uncomfortable, you're standing there calm and confident, seeing right through it. And once they know you've seen through their defenses, they will start leaning into you. Imagine this. You're with someone who always acts overly confident, always trying to show the world they have it all together, but you notice the crack, the little moments of self-doubt, the need for validation, the constant seeking of approval. Instead of feeding into that need, you hold up the mirror. You might say something subtle, like you don't have to prove anything to anyone you know. I can see you're already more than enough. One statement can shake them to their core. Because deep down they've been trying to fill a void they don't even talk about, and now you've exposed it not in a way that shames them, but in a way that makes them feel seen. This is where the real magic happens, when you reflect someone's insecurities back to them and break down. The walls they've built to protect themselves, they can no longer hide behind their ego, because you've already seen through it. And guess what? They will be drawn to you even more, because most people never go that deep. You're not like everyone else. They see that now. You're the person who gets them, who sees them. And they can't help but gravitate towards someone who can see their flaws and still stand strong. Now let me hit you with some motivation. You've got to stop holding back just to make others feel comfortable. Don't dim your light or avoid difficult truths, because you're afraid of how they'll react. When you hold that mirror up to someone's insecurities, you're doing them a favor. You're showing them that you're not here to play shallow games. You're here for real connections. Real understanding gives them the chance to grow, face their fears, and become better. And here's the thing. When they see that you're not afraid of their insecurities, they'll trust you more than ever. They'll want that depth, that honesty, that understanding. You'll force them to face what they've been avoiding, and 7 is the most powerful number. The quiet storm. Please tell me something. How strong do you believe silence can be? I'm talking about the kind of silence that makes you feel sure of yourself and confident. That, my friends, is what I call the quiet storm. Your presence alone draws attention at this point. You don't have to say a word. You become that quiet force. People can't ignore the person who moves with purpose while the rest of the world is a mess of noise. Some people might think that being quiet is weak, but I'm here to tell you that stillness has power. People are drawn to someone who doesn't feel the need to rush in or be loud in order to be heard. It's that calm strength that makes people pay attention. Being the most powerful in the room doesn't require shouting or being the loudest. Your silence can be your loudest weapon. Imagine you're in a tense situation where everyone else is reacting. You stand still, don't react, and hold your ground unshaken. The longer you stay calm, the more unsettling it is for everyone else. Suddenly, everyone is looking at you, wanting to know what you're thinking and why you're not reacting like everyone else. That's the calm storm. Being in the midst of the storm draws people to you, piquing their curiosity about the power within. Here's the secret. When you embrace the quiet storm, you become unpredictable in the best way. People don't know how you'll react because you've mastered control over your emotions. This makes you powerful because unpredictability keeps people on edge. They want to know what's going on beneath the surface, but you keep them guessing. Now let me be honest. Many people think they have to be loud, explain themselves, and always be in the mix to matter. That's not true. Your power comes from within. You don't have to convince anyone of it. You are the storm they feel coming, even when you're standing quietly and letting your energy do the talking. If you maintain your composure, people will perceive your force, even if it's not audible. People will gravitate towards you due to your strength and confidence, which don't require constant validation. You don't need to be loud or hurried. You embody the quiet storm, and no one can deny your power. Watch as your wonder draws people to you. Remember this. The power to make them want to be with you lies in your ability to stand firm in your own worth. You don't have to beg, chase, or overextend yourself. Your calm, your confidence, and your quiet strength are enough. When you embrace that inner power, you become magnetic, drawing them in without even trying. Let them feel your absence. Let them crave your presence. Trust in your own value and experience an unparalleled attraction from others. You are enough, more than enough. If this message inspired you and helped you see your own power, please like the video. Your support means a lot. Also, don't forget to subscribe for more life-changing tips that will help you become the most irresistible version of yourself. Thanks for watching.